Imagine walking into your own home and catching your husband behind a closed door with another woman. This is exactly the moment the prophet's wife walked into. But this wasn't just a simple marital dispute. This single moment triggered one of the darkest secrets in Islamic history, a secret so volatile that God Himself intervened with terrifying verses, threatening two of the prophet's wives with hellfire. What actually happened behind that door, and why have scholars tried to hide the true meaning of Surah At-Tahrim for centuries? We are talking about the Prophet's household, specifically Aisha, the daughter of Abu Bakr, and Hafsa, the daughter of Umar. They are celebrities in Islamic history, but this chapter of their lives is often censored. Back then, the Prophet had specific nights assigned to each wife. That night was actually Hafsa's turn. However, she had left the house to run an errand. When she returned earlier than expected, she found the Prophet in private with Maria the Copt. Now, Maria was his lawful partner, so this was completely legal. But Hafsa's jealousy exploded. She lost control and broke the sanctity of the Prophet's home with her shouting. The Prophet, desperate to restore peace and manage Hafsa's rage, did two things. First, to calm her down, he swore an oath to forbid Maria for himself and never be with her again. Second, seeing she was still furious, he entrusted her with a massive secret, one that held the future of Islam. He told her, "Your father Umar and Aisha's father Abu Bakr will unjustly seize power after me, while my true successor is Ali." He warned her clearly, "This is a divine secret. If you reveal it, God's curse be upon you." But did Hafsa keep her mouth shut? No. She immediately ran to her best friend and co-conspirator Aisha and spilled everything. Good news, the Prophet says our fathers will take power. Aisha, thrilled by this news, went straight to her father, Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr then shared the secret with Umar. The betrayal was complete. These two women united against the Prophet, preparing the ground for their fathers to stage a coup. But you cannot hide from God. The angel Gabriel descended, not with mercy, but with fury. The Prophet summoned Hafsa and asked, "Why did you tell Aisha the secret?" Hafsa was shocked. She denied it at first, asking, "Who told you this?" The Prophet replied, "The all-knowing God informed me." Then Surah At-Tahrim was revealed. Let's look closely at how God exposes this conspiracy step by step. In verse 1, God scolds the Prophet. "Why do you ban what is lawful just to please your wives?" In verse 2, God commands the Prophet to break that oath. In verse 3, God exposes that the two women leaked the secret. In verse 4, God declares war. He tells Aisha and Hafsa, "Repent, for your hearts have deviated." And he warns, if you back each other against him, know that God, Gabriel, and the righteous believers, meaning Ali, are his protectors. And the final blow in verse 10, God compares these two wives of the Prophet to the wife of Noah and the wife of Lot, two women who were married to prophets but betrayed them. Their marriage didn't save them, and God threw them into the fire. Here is where the mainstream cover-up begins. They say this wasn't political. The Prophet just ate some honey and his wives said his breath smelled bad. Let's be logical for a second. Would God mobilize Gabriel, the angels, and the righteous believers over honey? Would God threaten the Prophet's wives with hellfire and compare them to the traitorous wife of Noah over bad breath? The answer is obvious. It wasn't about honey. It was about the exposed coup against Ali. After this exposure, Aisha and Hafsa realized time was running out. To ensure their fathers took power quickly, they decided to eliminate the Prophet. They poisoned him. This isn't just a theory. Even Sunni sources like Sahih Bukhari admit a terrifying event during the Prophet's final illness. Aisha said, "During the Prophet's illness, we forced medicine into his mouth. He signaled us not to, but we said, patients always dislike medicine."
When the Prophet regained consciousness, he demanded, "Why did you force this medicine upon me?" He then issued a chilling order. Everyone present in this house must drink from this very same medicine.
Interestingly, they didn't drink from that medicine themselves.
Many scholars believe that liquid was poison. Historical accounts state his belly turned green in his final moments, a clear sign of poisoning. The mainstream excuse? They claim he was poisoned by a Jewish woman at Khaybar 4 years earlier. But medical logic tells us poison doesn't wait 4 years to kill. It was immediate. You might ask, aren't they called mothers of the believers? Doesn't that make them holy? Here is the reality. Before the Prophet died, men were bragging, saying, "I will marry his wife after he dies." To stop this disrespect, God gave them the title mothers, meaning, just like your own mother, marriage to them is forbidden. It was a legal restriction, not a ticket to heaven. History has been sanitized. If you want the uncensored truth, hit that subscribe button. We will reveal more documents in the next video.